Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Saturday the 23rd of December. Well, a very disappointing day on Friday, absolute garbage. One of them received a terrible ride, all the rest were my fault. So let's get into it for Saturday's selections. So I'm going to talk you through them. There's a few tricky ones. I placed this bet last night, but I was just too tired to do the video. Finally, I broke up from work and I can really, I concentrate anyway on the horse racing, but gives me more time anyway. So let me get into it. So the football selections will be in the first comment and the description. So if you're interested in that, it's unlikely you're going to miss them. So either go into the description by clicking, I think it's show more, or go onto the first comment. So let's start off the Christmas break. Let's give ourselves a bit of luck. So all those superstitious people, give me a like. That would be absolutely great. Let's try and get up to 50. If we get up to 50, something special might happen. Anyway, let's get into the video. So what I've had is, I deposited £15. So what I've done is, I've got a bit left in my account. I've had 11 pence each way, lucky 63. That is it for the horse racing. So the first selection is Bread and Butter. It's the rank outsider at 33 to 1 in the 11:45 at Haydock. The only problem with this race is there's 8 runners currently, and it's heavy ground, so you could see a non-runner. So the first part is placing a bet on the hope that there isn't a non-runner. If there is, it's going to be awkward. Well, this horse, I'll tell you how I think the race is going to pan out. The first 3 in the betting have all dominated the pace. They all pretty much, I don't know if they need to, but so far they've all made all. You've had a made all and pestered for the lead, but it's still kept the lead. So all 3 of the fancied horses normally make the pace. On heavy ground at Haydock, it could cause chaos. You may get horses or the principals that don't jump as well because they're trying to dominate for the lead. You might get horses that get taken on that sulk and don't run any race whatsoever. So we're kind of hoping that happens. We're looking for an angle where we can sneak one into the place. Well, I did fancy one. I can't remember what it's called now because I'm not going to go into it because I haven't selected it. I think it was called something like Litka or something like that. But I've gone off it and I've actually gone for the outside of the lot, Bread and Butter at 33 to 1 in the 11:45 at Haydock. And basically, we need this horse to run well above what it's shown so far, but also we probably need 2 of the horses at the 3 and to keep it to 8 runners, but 2 of the horses at the first 3 in the betting to run subpar. I know it's a lot to ask in the very first selection. So if there's a non-runner, you need to decide if you still select this horse. The second selection is Deep Strato at 17 to 2 in the 11:55 at Newcastle. Donald McCain won this race 2 years ago. This race didn't happen last year because I can't remember why all the racing was called off. You may know, I can't remember if I'm being honest. The Queen didn't die. Don't think any of this sniffling and coughing going off. So I can't remember why. Was it a big freeze? But anyway, in 2021, Donald McCain won this race. I think it was actually an odds-on chance, but he hasn't got an odds-on chance this time. He's got a 17 to 2 chance. And I think, especially with him winning this race before, we might have half a chance, or he might have a better chance than what we think. I do believe this horse is first time over hurdles, which I absolutely hate. However, the vast majority of horses are first time over hurdles. It may have run once over hurdles, but if it has done, it's only ran nothing more than okay. Bear in mind, I selected these last night, so you need to maybe need to delve into them for a bit more information yourself. See if you fancy them as well. But I do believe a lot of the horses in this race are vulnerable. The third selection is a bit more straightforward. So it's Ellen and Bob at 5 to 1, not a great price, in the 1:30 at Haydock. All this is just a money back special. It's not an extra place race. So they're paying the first 3 currently. I believe this horse is a typical Venetia Williams horse. It likes to be prominent and it just seems relentless on heavy ground. So I think this horse, if it can get, it doesn't even need an easy lead, really. It's a bit preferable. But if it goes to the front, I think it will just gallop them into submission. I think it'll go to the front and it'll just keep finding. There are some horses at bigger prices where you can give sneaks to. But I just think Ellen and Bob is the most obvious form selection. It ran over course. I think it was maybe course and distance as well last time. It was only soft ground, but today is heavy. I don't think it'll make much difference to this horse. I think it'll go to the front. Last time it was keen, which was not a plus, certainly, but keen on soft ground, and it only weakened very last off. So I think the fact it was keen, it will hopefully, like, the fact that it still stayed on pretty well apart from very last off. And I think once it jumped the last, it just folded slightly. I think it'll come back stronger and fitter for that last race, and I do like the look of it. The fourth selection is I'm Mabel at 16-1 in the 2 o'clock at Lingfield, paying 4 places instead of 3. The reason I've gone for this is pretty much based on the same reasoning why I picked, I think it was a 25 or 20-1 last time. Was it called Unbreakable? A lot of the fancied horses, in fact, I'm going to click on it. Let's do this. There's a £1.14 that we're left. Anyway, so it's a 6 furlong race. You've got the favourite drawn 12, and then you've got another fancied horse drawn 11. Straight away, there's question marks. That is a big ask to do that at Lingfield, drawn 11 and 12 over 6 furlong. So personally, I think they're up against it straight away. Can they win? Of course they can. But I just think that they're vulnerable straight away. I'm Mabel is drawn low to middle, and I think it's got a chance of sneaking a place. And they're paying first 4. So I think 16-1 is reasonable. The next selection is Blue King Duro at 8-1 in the 225 at Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. And yes, it's a doubtful stayer. I think this horse could have a very good chance if the pace is a bit messy. There are some front runners in this race, but it doesn't always work out where it's going to be an out-and-out gallop or an out-and-out strong gallop. So I think if they mess around with the pace, there's a lot of elderly horses in this race. There's a lot of horses that are getting on a bit now. I think you've got 2 11-year-olds. Well, this horse it's only a 4-year-old, so obviously, but it's still improving. And as I say, you win nothing with the kids, but we've already proven that that's wrong. But I think it can outrun its inexperience, and I think if they dawdle this horse, I think it's about a 2.5 miler so far. I think this horse, and it's not terrible ground either. It's good to soft. If it was heavy, I might have doubts about it, but it's good to soft ground. It's a 2.5 miler. If they dawdle this horse, who I do think does want further, but I think they're seeing that if this horse could be a stayers hurdle type, I think we'll find this out at 2:25 or 2:30 on Saturday. So I do think it's got a sneak. And Paul Nicholls, powerful stable. He's got 2 in this race. He's also got one called Red Risk, who I also like the look of. But I've opted for Blue King Duro. And finally, One Night Stand at 7-2 in the 235 at Lingfield. This horse is very well handicapped. I find it interesting they're taking it to Lingfield. Don't know why. It has got form elsewhere, but I think it's very well handicapped. Scott Dixon has been knocking in the odd winner recently. I tell you what, trying to catch Scott Dixon's stable right is virtually impossible. You can get a horse with decent form. It runs a bad race or an unlucky race, and then he'll win it. He'll have 2 in the race, and he'll win it with the outsider. It's really difficult to get Scott Dixon at the right time. Even sometimes when the money's down, but you are better off backing his horses when the money's down. But unfortunately, when the money's down, you've normally missed the value. But anyway, those are the 6 selections. They're a mixed bag, but also, let's keep this under 10 minutes. It's 9 minutes 15. So I like the look of the selections. It's lots of different reasons why I picked them. The football selections are in the description and the first comment. So if you stayed till this long, put a 10 in the comments, and also give me a like, please. Share it on any platform that you normally do, please. I know you probably don't anyway, but I don't know. Have you got... Where would you normally share it? Twitter? Or X? Whatever. So, I'm just waffling that. So, fingers crossed. Have a great Christmas, everybody. I've tried my best. We've had ups and downs. So, give it a like. And let's have a lot of luck for Saturday. Have a great Christmas. Charlie Winters. over and out. Cheers, mate.